Hello and welcome back to Metaphor ReFantazio. Last time we defeated a multiple tentacled human and it was more difficult than it maybe should have been, and that maybe shows that potentially we may need to bulk up a little bit in terms of our power. But we were also told that today we were going to have a day off, and on days off people tend to open up more. Now what does that mean? I have no idea. It was in red, it's gotta be important. I was also told that if I press the Y button, we also get a thing with Gallica. So I'm going to press the Y button. That soft, undulating sound of the waves is just so tranquil. Oh, do you want to talk about something? Yeah, so we could spend a day talking with Gallica? Okay, I'm going to say never mind, because it's given us the option right now. Let's go see what everyone else is doing, and then I guess we'll come back to you. Yeah, let's start with, I'm assuming, Heismay. Or not. That's okay. But I can't see anyone else around yet. You know what we should also do while we're here?
Got it.
That's right. We should be well groomed. Let's get 100 XP here. Okay. Cool. Then let's head to the pantry and get our bonuses here. Oh, we got some stuff. I love how he's surprised every time. It's like, oh, we keep food in here. Everyone else is like, yeah, of course we do, you idiot. Hello, Basilio.
Sam.
You really fixed that hole in the runner. Thought we were sunk there for sure. God, how long have you been there for? Well, whatever. Good thing we managed to pull things off yesterday, eh? Basilio doesn't seem as defensive as usual. Now might be a good time, or a good chance to improve things with him a little. That's also going to use time. Okay. This is going to be a tough choice, I imagine. Hello.
Oh?
Oh, have you been there the whole time? Feel like listening to me sing, do you?
Got a second?
Good timing. There was something I wanted to talk to you about. Do you have a moment to spare?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Interesting. I'm wondering what the consequences of this conversation are. Now, it could just be, here's who you get to spend some extra time with, but I don't know. They built it up like it was a big thing, and it's gonna use your day up. So now I'm like, what are we doing with this day? Also, I'm just checking who our options are, because we know we have Gallica, we have Basilio, and we have Junah. Okay. I assume everyone else must be on the deck then? Apart from Nuras, who's driving. Yeah. We could also do fishing. I've been told that there is a fish that we can only get in this area, which we already got. We got it last time. We got the Lord of the Lake, I think it was. Anyway, I believe we've got it, which is great, because apparently if you don't get it, you have to do some other stuff for it, but we got it, so it's good. The sea's so calm, it's like yesterday's storm never happened. The runner's riding smoothly, monsters slain in our wake. I could hardly ask for better. Okay.
Oh, right.
Hello.
Oh.
Parting the very waves to go on, an incredible sight.
Your thoughts?
What say you, Graham? Will you come and enjoy the view as well? The breeze is most pleasant here.
I see.
Okay. Yeah, but what does this lead to? That's where I'm still like, I'm not sure. Also, where's Fidelio? Because we've seen Basilio. Is Basilio in the same room as Fidelio? That has happened before. No, Fidelio is not around. Huh. Oh no, there he is.
What do you want?
What do you want? I'm trying to guard Junah here. Ah, you're such a bloody bother. If you got something to say, out with it.
Leave.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. And I like to do these conditions ahead of any sort of saves coming, right? So I'm letting you know, one, that there may be saves coming ahead, and two, what my conditions are for it. I am going to speak to Fidelio. The reason I'm going to speak to Fidelio is out of these two people, right, out of Basilio and Fidelio, it makes sense to me to speak to Fidelio. He's obviously the one in charge. I think we have other opportunities to speak to Junah, I assume. Actually, wait a second. Wait a second here. She's not even on our follower list. How weird. Also, I just realized from this follower list you can make some assumptions. I'm just going to click into these so that we get rid of the exclamation marks. You can make an assumption here, actually. Because Nuras is here, right? Maria, Katharina, Alonso, Barden, Brigitte, Moore. Look at this list. What separates the people at the top and the people at the bottom? Well, what separates these guys is that they're in our party. And that these guys are not in our party. Does that mean that there are 3 party members that we don't have yet? I mean, I'm assuming one is Junah, right? That makes perfect sense that one is Junah. But does that mean these 2 are party members? That's interesting. Anyway. Where was I? Yeah, I'm assuming that we'll have an opportunity to speak to Junah later. We have opportunities to speak to Strohl later. We have opportunities to speak to Gallica and Hulkenberg later. We will not have an opportunity, if these 2 end up leaving us, to speak to them later. So I think we should speak to them now. I mean, but my save scums situation is 1. Is it a one-off conversation which is unique to this moment? If it is, I may save scum to go and see what the others are, just because I'm curious. And then 2, it would be, is this something that has an actual effect upon the game? At which point we may save scum to see what the other effects are. But we're just going to speak to Fidelio first. And this is my choice. Like, this is my initial choice.
What do you want?
Okay. Let's talk. Oh, fine, but only a bit. Not like you'd shut up about it if I said no.
What do you want?
So, what do you even want? If you're trying to get closer to me, you're wasting your time. Why's that? You're an open book, mate. You just want to win us over. Well, fine. Suppose I could use this opportunity too. See, I've got one warning for you.
A word of warning.
If you try anything funny with Lady Junah, I'll make you regret being born. Seems like Fidelio doesn't trust me at all. I'd remember that if I were you. You done talking? What? You think I was gonna thank you for yesterday? Not at all.
No.
Hardly makes a difference if I live or die anyway.
Seriously.
Well, it's true you ended up being the one to save Lady Junah and protect Basilio. For that at least, thank you.
Well?
No matter what your agenda is. Okay, we got some mag there. You really don't trust me? What agenda? Or, I didn't have time to think. Let's say, you really don't trust me?
Then...
You really don't trust me, do you? Of course I don't. That's how I got this far in the world. Especially while looking out for our Basilio, the dunce. Everything is a threat. Well, a debt's a debt. Think about what... think what you want about me, but I've got my own code. I'll return the favour before long.
Leave?
But don't get it twisted, yeah? That's the end of this conversation. I'm not out here to stand around chatting with the likes of you. Ah, shite. Losing my damn mind out here. Whatever. Here, now bugger off. I got a handmade flute. Oh. That's a piece of clothing, right? Like that, or is that a legendary item? We need to have a look, because the gold ones we've seen before are the ones we got from the DLC. Saw a Parapus peddler in Brilhaven selling souvenirs. Bought this on a whim. Gave me this whole story about how sound wards off evil. I'm not planning on dying out here with you idiots. It's just for peace of mind, but it's better than nothing. We'll be at the encampment soon, and while I have you here, your ship rocks like a bucket in a storm.
Got it.
Tell that clumsy driver of yours, if he doesn't shape up, I'll throw him overboard and sail it myself. I'm dead serious like. Okay. So do we get 2 options?
As the clear surface gives way to the glassy ink of darkness, the gauntlet runner reaches a remote island. The party gets a good night's rest, grateful for the still land that does not sway them at its whims.
Okay, I'm just going through things in my head. If we have night, day, we might get 2 more if we're allowed to do these now. Let's see.
What to pick?
So our arrival's tomorrow. Phew, we're finally done spending our nights at sea. No, so these have moved on. Okay. We have Fidelio here. I'll be hitting Virga Island tomorrow, yeah? You say you want to be useful to Count Luis, then you better put in the work. And remember, we'll be watching. Okay, interesting. We may still save scum. I haven't decided yet. I'm just seeing what's available now. Hello.
Come on.
Don't let the sea at night. There's no knowing which ways the waves are coming from. And I think about accidentally falling. And when I think about accidentally falling in, ugh. Right. Okay. Interesting. So there isn't anything else here. We didn't see Heismay previously either. Is he up here? Yeah, he's up here now, but he wasn't there previously. But Heismay could just be unavailable. Okay. I'm going to do a save here. So, if they're all roughly the same, we're going to come back to this save. So save 16. Let's have a look at the item we got.
What now?
Equipment. See, yeah, actually, we have one of those. I forgot, we did have an accessory that was yellow before. We have the Venom Ward Charm. See, these are what I was thinking. Like, the clothes were all yellow. But no, it wasn't one of those. Okay. So what did he give us? Handmade flute. All stats +5. Holy moly, Fidelio. Alright. Well, let's see, let's see.
What now?
This is definitely a big thing we get. Let's see, what the other ones are. We can at least see what the story is. Alright, let's go with Basilio.
Sam.
Right. Let's talk.
Ben.
Talk with me? Even though I'm here to keep you in line? Sure. But let's go topside. It'll be a pain if Del saw.
Sam?
Got nothing to say to you. Del says I'm to keep my trap shut around you unless I got something worth talking about. Oh well, actually there is one thing. Thanks for saving me, brother. Couldn't let that go unsaid. Still, it's a real miracle. This is some weird ship.
What the?
I mean, why the hell's it so small? It keeps shaking and creaking like it's about to fall apart. With a bigger craft, you could have just rammed into the sea beast head on, eh?
Maybe.
I mean, be fair. Are we even gonna make it to Virga Island? You feeling anxious?
Huh?
Oh, no chance, mate. Lord Luis's runner is nothing like this one. Even when it's flying, smooth as you like. And I can flop down on the beds and sprawl out, easy. Not so much on this ship. Heard stories from some sailor lads. These seas are connected to hell, they say. Sounded like superstitious talk to me, but there was that monster yesterday and that wave. See those white crest waves out in the distance? Bet that means the ocean current's gotta be swirling up a storm out there, yeah. It's a portal to hell, it's gotta be. And that means monsters are probably crawling out of there even now. That'd give any man the shivers. Ugh, should have done more swimming practice. Del warned me. He's always right about this sort of thing. You really trust him?
Well,
You really seem to trust your brother a lot.
yeah.
Well, Del's the boss here. You keep your mouth shut about me being scared of the ocean, got it?
Here.
This ain't a bribe to shut you up or anything, but here, take it if you like. It's a Parapus charm. White Sand Rose. People say it's a good thing to have on you. Everyone from my hometown could tell you that. Though this one's just a novelty shop knockoff, of course. Used to have a real one, but I lost track of it after some fight. Del gave it to me when I was younger. It was smaller than that one. I can still remember how happy I was to get it. Crap, I ran my mouth. Aren't we making camp soon?
Hey!
And not one word of this to Dell. Not about the charm and not about me. You step out of line and I'm going straight to Lord Luis. Fair enough, fair enough. I didn't check to see whether Gallica was available in the
As
evening.
the party.
Also, I didn't know you could skip those until I was like, I wonder if I can skip that. And the answer is yes. Yes, you can. You can't skip this, but you can skip that. Also, look at that. The lullaby is randomized per day. Because this one is blue and the other one was red.
It's time.
Okay. That's fine. I just wanted to see what she had to say. Right. So what does this thing do?
What now?
I should go to equipment, because that's where it will be. I'm assuming they're all going to be in the same category as well. It's all stats plus 5. I'm going to take a stab in the dark and say they're all stat plus 5s. That does make sense to me. I still think I prefer the Fidelio one, in terms of story so far. Okay. Let's do Gallica next. Oh, come on. I wasn't going to snap at you to buzz off or anything.
Okay, then.
Well, come on. Let's go to the special sitting spot like always. Think of the ocean view. The sun feels so nice, doesn't it? The sea feels way different from yesterday, and I don't think we'll be seeing any of those monsters.
That reminds me.
There was a rumor about a tribe of fish people living out here. That was probably just that monster. Tribe of fish people?
Hold on.
What do you mean by a tribe of fish people? Like a village of walking fish or something like that. It's just some tall tale, but it's intriguing, isn't it? With the sea, I really feel anything can happen. The depth, the waves, the tidal currents, it's just swimming with mysteries. I mean, for sure it's chock full of all these unknown creatures, you know? Sounds delightful.
Thanks.
Thanks for not making fun of me for what I just said. Often we fairies get treated like mere superstitions too. It's because we hide ourselves so we're not found, but sometimes it feels like we're outsiders, like everyone totally forgets we exist. It's not like I want special treatment or anything, I just want people to see me as me. But I'm grateful because you do. That's why I'm able to resist thinking things like, I'm so small and insignificant. You're being surprisingly honest. Someone's being surprisingly honest today.
What?
Well, now that you said that, I suddenly feel all embarrassed. Maybe it was the waves rocking us back and forth that encouraged me to open up more.
Hey there.
Here, you can have this. It's just something I picked up on the deck this morning. Rainbow scale. Those fish people, their scales are supposed to be rainbow. With this, maybe we can believe they aren't just superstition. It probably came from that monster, but pretty things are pretty. The sea is like a mother, everyone's mother. It's the place where we were all born, so I'm sure it's got more miracles it's hiding. It's getting dark.
Let's call it.
I think Norris is looking for a place we can camp out. Let's get ready too. Okay. We would have got a lot more mag for that one, but that's fine. See what the rainbow scale's like. Oh? Camera intro is slightly different for no apparent reason. Okay. I'm assuming it's exactly the same. Like, it's almost certainly exactly the same. Is exactly the same. Okay. So this was really just a which story do you want situation. So, I want all of them. Let's see what Junah has to say. Hello, Junah.
Oh?
Oh, have you been there the whole time? Feel like listening to me sing, do you?
Got a second?
Good timing. There was something I wanted to talk to you about. Do you have a moment to spare? Junah seems to be in particularly high spirits right now. Maybe we can have a genuine conversation. Gladly.
Thanks.
Oh, thank you. Go on, have a seat.
The truth is...
I wanted to talk to you about the Magnus brothers. Don't worry, I sent them off on errands, so they won't catch a word of this. Anyway, in regards to our dear Fidelio yesterday, I do have to thank you for saving him, and I'm so very sorry they accompanied us to Virga Island.
Well...
I know they both jump at Luis's command, but they really are good lads. A bit sensitives, perhaps. They sure are fond of you.
Got it.
They seem pretty attached to you, Junah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yes. They're rather fond of me, I suppose. Or my songs, at the least. I do owe them a debt of gratitude for escorting me around and keeping Luis's men at a safe distance.
But...
On the other hand, I don't think it's wise to trust them completely. Do you remember their superstitions about what transpired with Liddell? If I'm not careful, I could compromise the whole mission. And I think it's about time I stopped being so naive. Deep down, I knew they would eventually become an obstacle.
Hey!
Ugh, but isn't this just exhausting? I bet you sing me a little lullaby to calm me down. Hope you like warbling.
Leave it to me.
Okay, but don't blame me if you want to cover your ears.
Huh?
Oh, I do hope you're serious. So sing something for me, will you? I vow to remember it, and one day, all of us will... Let me just say, for whatever reason, when I'm with you, Graham, it feels like I can just be myself. Sorry, my eyes are just so heavy. Junah fell asleep. Oh, wait, did I fall asleep, Graham? You stayed here the whole time. Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Well, you just suddenly fell asleep, so yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh dear, I'm sorry. I suppose I've not been getting much sleep, and I just felt so relaxed all of a sudden. Been a while since that happened.
Look at this.
Oh right, here. Been meaning to give you this, but it kept slipping my mind. It is an Aeon Pearl Ring. This is a charm I bought before we left Bralhaven. Pearls come from oysters, and they take a long time to form. That's why they symbolize growth and prosperity. I bought it for myself, but it's a bit too big. Besides, I think you'd put it to much better use on this journey. Take it. We better get back, If I'm gone too long, I'm sure that the Magnus brothers would come looking.
Bye.
Once it gets dark, we'll have to prepare camp. Get back to where? I mean, how... Come looking. The runner isn't that big. I'm sure they could work out where you are. Also, I love where she was like, I sent them on an errand. Like, where? Where did you send them? Maybe that's a sign that you can have this conversation at places that aren't the Gauntlet Runner. And maybe that we're about to have the option to have this conversation tomorrow as well. In fact, we maybe have all of them. But if we do, right? I did think of that possibility. If that is the case, what we can do is we can just skip the conversation if we have it again. Right? So we could just skip it if it comes to that. So, I'm not overly worried. Right, Strohl, you're next.
Yeah.
Great, I was hoping we could hash out what's next. I've been trying to think of ways to outwit Luis, but all my ideas feel full of holes. An idea comes to me, but I end up thinking Luis isn't dumb enough to fall for that, so I'm stuck from there. Even you're having trouble? If even you're struggling, maybe there really is no fooling him.
Huh?
You have that much faith in me? Those are some heavy expectations.
Oh, right.
You know, I recall when I met you back at the recruitment center. They were slinging all sorts of accusations at you, but you handled it with such grace. Next time was in the carriage. The roads were so rough we could hardly keep our arses in our seats. But there you were, reading a book of all things. You were a right strange one, but I liked you too. I never imagined I'd be entrusting my life to you as much as I do now. My duty as a noble compelled me to protect you as one younger than I, but now I really do think of you as a true little brother. Big bro?
Hold on.
My big bro Leon?
Huh?
Oh no, we can't be calling him Leon. That's a step too far. That's like a level of closeness I'm not sure that we can enter into. Nope, sorry. Nope, there's something wrong with that. Right, I'm afraid not. But seriously, I am grateful. I have someone I think of like a brother. Grateful for you. You've really helped me out by being there for me. Well, here. In life, I mean. Right? Well, since I'm already oversharing, I might as well give this to you. Here. A Nakra bracelet?
Take this.
It's a handcrafted item I picked up in Bralhaven. I was told it was made from a blue seashell. is said to ward off sea disasters, since these seashells must survive the deep sea to wash up on shore. I think us surviving the attack last night proves it works, eh? I just hope it continues to protect us on our journey. To all of us, you really are irreplaceable. That's why I want you to hold on to it.
Got it.
Looks like we've entered the reef area. I think we can set up camp around here.
It'll be all right.
Tomorrow we'll arrive at Virga Island. We've got to get that lance Luis mentioned at all costs. Cool. I like that one a lot. I think that one's good. I still think I like the Fidelio one we went with first. I think that that's the one that fits us best so far. Because I think that the storyline of us and like, as much as I like Strohl's one there, I think Strohl's one is a continuation of his social link, it's a continuation of the main story. It's not really, like, a new thing. But I think us with Fidelio, you know, coming to an understanding, hashing out some stuff, I think that's leading to interesting places. Now, I don't think it affects the story in any way, shape, or form. Like, having seen how this is all playing out, like, I mean, again, this item, I haven't checked the I didn't check one of them, but like, this is the same thing, right? Like, this is just a way to give you an all stats +5 item with a little story attached, which is fine. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the item, but I don't think it's going to change the story too much based upon who you choose. But I like the framing of the Fidelio one best. And even if, you know, we end up having to fight them later, at the very least it could be like there would be a world where we could be not enemies, right? I think I like that. Anyway, Hulkenberg.
Oh.
Parting the very waves to go on, an incredible sight.
Your thoughts?
What say you, Grem? Will you come here and enjoy the view as well? The breeze is most pleasant here.
Indeed.
Quite right. Come over here then. The seas are now so peaceful. Anyone recounting the previous night's events risks being labeled a liar. In these conditions, we should arrive at Virga Island tomorrow. Our sailing vessel has held up quite admirably, considering the haste with which it was constructed. One can no longer cast aspersions on Nuras or his talents.
That reminds me.
The calm seas have even allowed Strohl to regain a sliver of composure. He ceased chanting, "I'm going to be sick." His consternation was most bewildering. You don't feel sick? I take it you don't get seasick, Hulkenberg?
Come now.
Seasick? It strikes me as an odd concept. My first voyage at sea was also characterized by a clash with a temperamental storm. The waves forced the ship onto its side and the walls and floors traded their roles most suddenly. The storm howled through the rooms and I was forced onto the deck with a great tumult. Consequently, I simply tied myself to the ship so that I could not be forced off and read a book until the sea calmed itself. Oh. This trip bears little resemblance to my prior voyage. I was openly mocked when I stated I was searching for His Highness. A particularly rude cur yelped, "Do you think that corpse took the royal yacht across the sea?" Of course, I received naught in terms of assistance. Time passed, indifferent to my concerns or even my perception. Maybe the prince has truly died, and the fault lies with me for failing to repel such an attack. Such thoughts became my constant companions during that time. Searching for His Highness was my stated goal, and thinking on it now, perhaps I was simply looking for an appropriate place to die. Well, the prince is alive.
It'll be fine.
But the prince is still alive.
Indeed.
Yes, I am thankful to learn that my despair was misplaced. He may yet be saved. No, His Highness will be saved, I'm sure of it. Moreover, I have no shortage of reliable comrades at my side. Never again did I think that this would be the case.
Sorry.
Apologies, I should not be so free with my thoughts, especially with the brothers Magnus among our ranks. Tell me more about your travels. Please, I'd like to hear more about your travels.
You are curious.
Truly, they may not contain anything of interest.
Take this.
Ah yes, I have something I've wanted to give you. Temper your expectations. It's but a trinket. You got a narwhal's horn. Quite some time ago I passed through a port town and received this from a fortune teller. Supposedly it wards off the sea's myriad dangers. Pure superstition, assuredly. However, after receiving it, I was stricken with fever and bedridden. Some days later, I learned that the ship I was to originally board was lost at sea. So perhaps there is some truth to its abilities, which is why I now pass it on to you.
Now then.
The sun will soon retire. The encampment that Nura spoke of should be visible to us soon. Okay. And then we have that one done. Right. And now, it's time for us to go back to the real timeline. Okay. Yeah, I don't feel like the Hulkenberg one had as much impact as the others. I think the others all had like a bit of impact to them, a little bit of oomph.
Now.
That one didn't. You know what I want to do? I do want to double check that there's not one for Heismay. I'm assuming there isn't, but I mean it takes us about 2 seconds to check the ship, so. Okay, we had you two. Back deck, we know we had nobody here, but we're just double checking. Nobody on the back deck. Main deck had Hulkenberg and Strohl on it. It could have Heismay around the corner, maybe? Potentially. Let's have a little look around the corner here. He's probably upstairs, but yeah, might as well check around the corner. I think if he is somewhere, he's either in the strategy room, because I always forget him in the strategy room, or he's in his area. Oh, there he is. Alright, one more. Would have been a pleasant trip if not for the monster. I had no idea such a calamity awaited us.
And so,
I suppose you're too young for something like that mess to tire you out. Well, I've a mind to meditate and recover a bit. Care to join me? Okay. Good answer. Have a seat right there. Bah, I give up. 'Twas a fool's errand to attempt to meditate with all this incessant racket. Surely you hear this pandemonium as well. It is the cries of all the creatures of the sea. I can only hear the sounds of the waves. Perhaps this is one of life's many annoyances that only afflicts the Yugif. The fish in the sea are in a panic. Last night's skirmish with that sea beast has put the depths into a state of chaos.
well,
Above all that, however, the surface seems peaceful. A complete about-face from last night. His appearance at least calms my soul. Okay. Yeah, I suppose this would explain to us why we wouldn't see many Yugif traveling across the sea if it's constantly loud and noisy, right? Because they would naturally tend to go to places of quiet. You can relax. It's soothing, just let yourself relax. I cannot lower my guard yet, especially with those brothers in our midst. Though I suppose even they must realize the futility of agitating a fight on a vessel this small.
then,
So, am I wrong to assume that this is your first voyage across the sea? I have never been quite this far from land myself. However, I previously visited the beach with my son. We fished together.
I believe,
That holiday occurred at this time of the year. The shore was populated with many others who had the same idea as well. We settled ourselves in a secluded rocky area far from the crowds. I did not tell him it was because we were Yugif. But in hindsight, I so dearly wish I would have stood tall and simply enjoyed that moment with my son. No concern for the judgment of others. When my son pulled a fish out from the sea, he said, "I guess fish will bite anyone's hook." In other words, it surprised him that a fish would settle for a Yugif like him. I never stood up to the discrimination. In my cowardice, I ran from it. In doing so, I unintentionally taught my son that there was shame in being Yugif. It couldn't be helped.
That's...
You couldn't have done anything about it at the time.
right.
That's how I justified it to myself, at least in the moment. Yet now I think differently. I was wrong then.
My apologies.
I apologize. The regrets of an old man are a poor substitute for rousing conversation. There is no recompense. Allow me to give you this. Falcon anklet.
Take this.
Perhaps you've heard of an avian creature which soars across the sky in a manner similar to a shooting star. This is a sort of amulet crafted in honor of it. That great bird seeks its prey in the rivers and seas and dives from a great height to seize them. It is a hunter, which makes no sound and leaves no traces in its wake. Perhaps it is immodest to say as such, but I like to think I once possessed these same qualities. One day I will regale you with some more stirring stories of my time in the Shadow Guard. Now that I'm reminded of it, I suppose I have served the royal family as well. Okay, and now we've spoken with everybody. Except Nuras, but he's not available to speak to. Right. Well, let's jump forward. And, well, sideways in time, I should say. Yeah, I wonder what determines whether you get the different camera angle. It's probably just random, but... like, because it's meant to just randomize across your playthrough. But anyway, interesting. So, we're now loading this one. So this is the Fidelio timeline, I believe, if I've done this correctly. So we should now have the handmade flute. Okay. Which we'll equip for now, because it's incredible. Before we go into any dungeon or anything, we obviously want to like equip everything properly, but right now it doesn't really matter. Like, what we're going to fight now is not going to be a big deal. I already have a save. Why am I saving? So who's actually available now? So we have nobody here. Oh, we have Nuras down here. Hello.
Yep.
This old girl certainly had a run of a grueling gauntlet. I'll have to be gentle nursing her back to health.
Okay. Interesting. So, yeah, we don't have anything available right now with anybody. Also, I was looking at our quests in between episodes. I just want to have a look at these for a second. It's the wrong one. So, one, we're very, very close to save the Prince from Death's Curse being at our rank. Now, we don't know, you know, what our deadline is for this. We don't know how this is going to happen because it's main story. But what we do know is that it is likely going to be at the end of this section, because its rank is one above here, and we know previously that when we have a quest for an area, that the other quests in the area, like the highest dungeon, tends to be at least half a rank above, right? So if the highest dungeon is half a rank above Relic Search, which makes sense to me, then that would imply that this must be the first part of the next section of the game. That's the assumption. Now, what does that tell us? It doesn't tell us a lot, but it lets us just prepare our mind in terms of like, okay, what are we going to be facing, and how much are we going to be facing like a big boss fight in the future? Because I've got to assume this comes with some kind of big boss fight or something, or this quest morphs into something else, right? I have no idea what it morphs into. The only thing I could see that quest morphing into is the prince being dead, which is not a positive sign, but it could do. These are both wisdom, right? Imagination. Oh, okay. Who else is available today? But yeah, it's just a way to frame things in our mind. You're currently there. You also have imagination. We have 3 people who can give us imagination level ups. Where's Fidelio? Oh, Fidelio's outside, yeah. Back deck has nobody on it because it never has anyone on it. Spoken to Nuras. Heismay should be up here. I never want to use the window. I always want to use the ladder. Right, and Heismay is also imagination. Alright, so we're getting an imagination level up. We just have to choose who we want to give us the story for it. Okay. I'm going to choose Junah because she's new to the team. Okay. Let's go.
Oh my.
Oh, Fizz and Graham. I'm so bored, and I'm just not in the mood to sing. It sure would be nice to have someone to talk to. By recalling the past and planning for the future of Junah, maybe I can hone my imagination. Actually,
Bye.
The other thing I could do is read the journal. Oh, what does your one
Well
say?
met.
Okay, interesting. So this is the same as well. So I should do
Well.
this because this is the same with. I think this is the same with everyone. So let's choose
Oh
Junah.
my.
So now we have to find the Mustari tribe's divine relic. Isn't that fabulous? Calling this an absurd demand would be an understatement. But I must admit, if we can't handle this, then Luis will never acknowledge us. We absolutely must succeed. What I always find interesting about this type of story, where it's like, we have to get Luis to let us into his service, we have to get him to trust us. So it always ends up with the main character having to do some ridiculous demand. But what I want to ask you is, what are the grunts doing, right, in this situation? Like, how did random guy number 5 that we kill in the, or that we knocked out in the ship, how did he get his job with Luis? How did he get an in? Because it's like, obviously he's not doing anything more impressive than we are. I guess, you know, we're kind of setting ourselves up for higher expectations by coming in as a candidate, but still, it is a bit funny. Anyway, let's say we can do it with you.
Yeah.
As long as you're with us, we can do it.
But
Oh, of course. But don't you forget, we're also relying on you to lead. You better do right by us. I'm just happy to have this opportunity to fight alongside you. Living under Luis's foot was a lonely place to be, you know. And I've held my ground thus far. Though, if I'm honest, I was scared the whole time. I had to talk myself into keeping a stiff upper lip, so to say. But being past that, I feel more hope than I've ever have. I'm not alone anymore, and I have faith that we'll save the prince. I felt my imagination increase as Junah and I talked about things to come.
All right.
Yeah, we got 6 points of imagination. I kind of got the feeling that it was a good time to do one of those ones, because I got the feeling we were going to get something more for doing what the game wanted us to do. Especially as all of them were imagination. Staying up late is terrible for your skin, but seeing as we're already at it, why don't we chat a bit longer? Okay, sure. Junah and I talked for a while. And we got some mag.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
It's Water's Day. Oh?
Luis has sent an emissary to Virga Island.
Yeah. Interesting. Where is this going?
As reported by a crier. It's the elder boy who brought Joanna to the judging.
So he stands with Luis then. No doubt he seeks Dracodius.
A gambit to steal the public's gaze, perhaps. Taking a prize from the only land beyond the church's reach. Laughable. The reason we leave those barbarians alone is that we've nothing to gain from them. Your Eminence?
Merely a passing thought.
Let him chase the lance. It changes nothing. With the dawn of Saints' Day, your Eminence's authority will be unshakable as the mountains.
As long as we tell the public that these divine relics truly originated in Sanctism, yes, that should do. The candidates gathered at the Saints' Day festival will be under the protection of the King's magic. Some of them may use that as a shield to sow violence and discord.
I am aware, Your Eminence. Please, leave everything to your humble servant.
Okay, interesting. So I wonder what he's planning to do. The one thing I have thought is, although you are not allowed to harm another member of the, as a top 20 candidate, let's put it that way. You're not allowed to harm a top 20 candidate. There's nothing that stops you from simply trapping them, right? Because it seems to be a physical thing. It's like you attacking them. Now, I don't know how poison works or any of that sort of stuff, but what if you simply, got them into a trap and kept them imprisoned in a cage. You had no intention of ever killing them. You just kept them trapped, right? You get them to walk in, you close the door, you leave them there until a new king is chosen, and you let them out again. It seems like that would be the way to solve a lot of your problems here. You would simply have to figure out a way to get it to happen. But if they're outside of the public eye, they can't be gaining support. So, I don't know. That's my current thought for like a way around the top 20 thing. Also, I'm assuming the top 20 thing must not apply to monsters, because otherwise we would just walk into these dungeons and destroy things. So, anyway.
And so, our long sojourn at sea will come to an end today. We should arrive around noontime, but we must make preparations to berth beforehand.
Actually, we already know it doesn't affect humans, because the human killed us many times. So, yeah, it must only apply to, like, a person with a intention. That gives you a lot of leeway. Seems like the weather will be hot and humid. I'd like to hope we could just pop in, grab the lance, and pop right back out.
I'd be lying if I didn't wish the same, but we best prepare for a long stay. This island is infamously insular and closed off. Our welcome will not be a warm one.
Then...
Maybe I should take a nice cold shower before we arrive. We don't even know if there'll be real inns for us to stay in. Or there for us to stay in.
Narrowly escaping the threat of the sea monster, the party rides the currents of the inland sea to their destination, Virga Island. Virga is a word given to the island by the mainland, meaning uncivilized. But its inhabitants give this name no purchase. Put another way, we are trespassers from a country that has unilaterally regarded the islanders as heretics. To forget this is to invite pointless conflict. As though it knows it is unwelcome, the gauntlet runner glides silently onto the island's less populated rear shore.
Okay.
I can't take this heat. It's enough to cook a man alive.
All my air fur is stuck together.
Do we really have to go this way? There was a beautiful beach just over there.
Chin up now, milady. Easy to get a good backstab when you're coming up behind him, see?
There will be no stabbing, back or otherwise. Honestly.
It's at least true that coming at them head-on would only alarm them. First, we need to find out where this lance is.
You can bet the runner won't be spotted here, eh? Got the wide ocean on all sides. The old girl's not exactly unscathed from the beastie's clutches, so I'll stay back for a spot of repairs. Good luck on the lance hunt, what?
Who's there?
Oh?
Are you from the outside?
A voice from inside her head?
What's wrong?
And nobody else can hear it. I heard a voice.
I thought I heard a voice.
A voice? Whose?
All that salt air gets your head. Our chances out here already aren't looking too good.
So, how do we find this lance?
Ideally, we'd blend in with the locals, gather information. But if they really are all Mustari, that might be a bit tricky. Let's see. To start with, we could try staying hidden and observing the village from afar.
Sounds like a right hassle. How many days would you have us playing hide and seek?
Fair point. How long can we actually stay on this island?
Well, given the deadline for arriving in Altabury, it would be best to get the lance and leave by September the 5th.
The sooner we're out of here, the better. Let's go.
Okay.
Hey, does this place look familiar to you?
We may be a bit lost.
You're kidding! We can't afford to get lost on some godforsaken island! This is a disaster! Oh, I'm sweating through my outfit! And these weird bugs. I've had enough!
What I give for a snack and a cold tub to dunk me head in.
Need you voice every little complaint? You are not the only ones enduring this trek.
Quiet a moment. Running water nearby. Sounds like an open space. Could be a natural spring of some kind.
What? Really? Let's head that way.
Phew. I suppose we might as well if we're lost.
Okay. Oh.
Whoa!
Full cutscene.
It's drinkable. Much clearer than the capital's water, too.
Oh, brilliant. I could use a dip to get the salt off me.
On.
Who are you? Can you hear me? Then surely you must be a messenger of the dragon god.
Is something amiss?
I'm imagining things.
Could it be a villager?
You must be the...
Priestess!
Hey, Del. Let's go.
Mainlanders! You're not of this island!
Wait, listen!
Seize them!
Well, that could have gone better.
Behave yourselves. Now, you're a candidate for the throne, are you not?
I was going to ask how he knew that, but like they probably have a rock which has our face on it.
He had to steal Dracodias, no doubt. And not content with that, you befouled the priestess's cleansing pool. We need hear nothing further. You shall all be executed.
Fastest trial I've had.
Calm down. First off, you can't kill a candidate. Have you not heard of the king's magic?
You beg for your life in vain, wretch.
Hail, I'm told the priestess is ready.
Oh?
Accept your fate. You're not getting out either way.
What do we do now?
Well, now I think would be a good time to panic.
It seems the brothers have fled. Perhaps they've gone to report to Neurus.
Okay, well, that's optimistic.
I doubt it. Those thugs are here for the lance alone. They care nothing for us.
We can work with that. Can't return without the lance anyway. But I'd rather see if we can break ourselves out instead of counting on them to save us.
By the way, anyone else find it strange that they recognized a candidate at a glance? I wasn't expecting news to travel this far.
Yeah, but like, I mean, our face is probably on a rock.
Probably my fault, I'm afraid. They had a lot of questions, and they weren't gentle about asking.
Wait a second, is that the the crier, the person, the announcer? Yup.
Well, fancy meeting you here.
What did you do to get imprisoned? What did you do this time?
What did you do this time? Oh, you wound me, sir. I was hoping the word of the Crown Theocracy might be worth something here. Turns out, they prefer chains to questions.
But why are you here?
Why else? I heard some helpless, boneheaded twit of a candidate cross the waters to Virga Island, so I naturally had to follow.
Wait a second. Were you either right behind us, or did you somehow beat us here? That would be intriguing to know how you did that.
I'd thought stowing away on that Mustari candidate ship might get me safely on the island, and, well...
Ah, well that explains everything. That explains why he's imprisoned and how he beat us here. Mustari candidate left first, and they probably know the water, and you're imprisoned because you stowed away.
And now who's the helpless twit? This is ridiculous. Why would a crier go to such lengths anyway?
Seemed as good an opportunity as any. I wanted a peek behind the Sanctus curtain, see what the truth really is. For now, we may as well be patient. You'll have your opening soon enough. The people here, well, you'll find they aren't as monolithic as they'd like.
Okay. Oh, this is cool.
Have you heard? The Sanctus Church has ordered its adherents to seize all divine relics.
Those zealots go too far. Surely this must be the reason for the Dragon God's wrath.
Don't be alarmed, everyone. Please remain calm.
Oh. One, he has 3 eyes, which I think we might have already known about Mustari, but maybe we didn't. The priestess was the only other Mustari we've seen who doesn't have a helmet on. And this guy doesn't have his helmet on. So why doesn't he have his helmet on?
Master Adeni.
There are trespassers upon our island, from ships other than the trade vessels. But we have already captured them. Reportedly, one is a candidate, and one is a crier from the Sanctus Church. They seek Dracodios, the lance of the Dragon God. Until now, the Church has hesitated to intrude in our homeland. We can only assume they are making their move.
I knew it. They think they're untouchable. No offense is beneath them.
You know what's interesting with his third eye? What I find intriguing is that when he had his other 2 eyes shut, the third eye stays open. It's interesting. Oh, did we not hear? Was the third eye not for seeing, it was for seeing Magla, wasn't it? I'm sure we heard something about that.
Damned Borden. He's not just after our relics. He would silence us forever.
Master Adeni, put them to death! Let us see justice served!
Wait! Our captives have done nothing to hurt any of the islanders.
Why do you hesitate? If they would pervert our dearest beliefs, then they deserve only to be sacrificed. Our livestock are all maddened by disease, our seas are infested with grotesque horrors, and now even our fields lie dead and fallow. The Dragon God must be appeased, else we shall never survive his wrath. It has been our way since time immemorial. When disaster strikes, we offer a sacrifice to the Dragon God that he might ease our woes. It is the most basic of our teachings.
Everyone calm down. All this talk of justice, of sacrifice.
Master Adeni, would you see us repeat the tragedy of the past? With all respect, you abandoned your chase for the throne. You returned to your rightful home. Surely you have accepted that our traditions are the only way. Because of your indecision. Because you faltered in your faith to the Dragon God, your father and mother both.
I will have silence.
Master Adeni, please. The sacrifice. We cannot simply suffer in silence.
My brother, do not fear. I have just purified myself for the spring. I'm ready to serve as our people's sacrifice.
Oh, so that's what she was doing there. Well, that's not ideal either.
Yufa.
I am a priestess. I have known from birth that my life's greatest impact would be as an offering to the Dragon God. Indeed, it brings me great pride. I can serve my village in a way the priestesses in times of peace could not. If our island might be saved, I will gladly give my life for it.
Oh, bless you, Priestess Yufa. We will not forget your sacrifice.
This will surely appease the Dragon God. You are our last hope. Priestess Yufa, our salvation, our future.
Prepare the ship. I will accompany her to the altar in the Dragon Temple, where Dracodios rests.
Okay. We're getting a lot of pieces currently.
You catch that? The Dragon Temple. Sounds like that's where we'll find our lance.
I did a bit of reading on Virga Island once. Army reports say it's surrounded by an archipelago, otherwise uninhabited. And one of them islands is nothing but a massive temple.
Not another soul on them. Strange lot, these pagans. Gotta be bloody stupid to build your big important temple out where nobody can get to it.
Could be. Or maybe they weren't the ones who built it. Either way, we'll need a ship.
Sounds like we better hurry and bail our new crewmates out. All this stink in the square probably means less guards on duty.
Ugh.
Come on, Del, we can't leave him high and dry. The fair lady Junah likes them, don't she?
And the fair lady's the only one we have to rescue.
Awful cold, Del.
Not getting attached now, are you? You knew going in they might be our traitors. Look, you want to work together, then let me do the thinking, right? I've got all this under control. Oh.
Hey, Del, you're not still hurting from the sea battle, are you?
I'm fine. We'll wait till nightfall. Shadowy business, all this.
Okay. And now it is night.
Lady Junah. Let's get those bindings off. Easy does it now. Calm down, you amateurs.
Oh, thanks. I'd hoped you'd come back for us.
We know where the lance is. Let's move.
Wait, aren't you going to untie the others?
We're your bodyguards, not theirs.
What? Since when do you follow orders to the letter?
I've already told you we can't trust these people, and now it's clear we can't even trust them to protect you.
He did a fine enough job saving your life out at sea.
Del!
He's one of us now. Lord Luis gave him direct personal orders, and you'd still leave him to die. I promised Lord Luis I'd keep an eye on him too. If you get him killed, I'm the one who's failed.
Hear, hear. 3 appropriately stealthy cheers for cooperation. And I'd be very much obliged if some generous spirit could get me untied too.
Ugh, better to let a church leech rot. You're annoying, and you talk too much.
Haha, I get that a lot. Funny thing though, I get more chatty the more distress I'm in, and I'm quite beside myself here.
We could just shut him up permanently.
No, Del. We don't want to leave a mess. If things get dicey, we've got some meat shields at the least, eh? Gonna need all the manpower we can get if we want that lance.
Is the lance somewhere dangerous?
Well, about that. Turns out this dragon god might be a bit more real than we thought, and more bent out of shape.
They're sacrificing some village lass to it, and the crowd was scared stiff besides. We can't rule out that this dragon's more than a folktale.
So we're to face a dragon? Well, that's just lovely. Untie everyone this instant. Or do you fancy better chances with fewer swords?
If it helps our case, we have killed a dragon and we were significantly weaker at the time.
Oh, fine, I get it. Just give me a second.
Wait, we didn't kill the dragon. We did chase the dragon off of its loot so that we could grab the loot. I don't know if that helps us.
Oi, kid. Don't make me regret this.
We make such a great team.
Nice to be back on the team.
You're completely mental, you know that? Just don't drag us down. Fine, just get over here and I'll let you loose. Oh, you're going last. Considering the size of the island, there's only the one settlement. The chief's young, too, goes by Edeni or something.
Edeni? Was he not the Mastari candidate we met before? I'd no idea he was this island's ruler.
He and the sacrificial maiden are headed for the temple on one of the deserted islands. That's where we find the lance. Oh, and the girl marked for death is his sister.
His own sister?
Something about appeasing the dragon god's anger. All these islanders worship it, and they say the calamities come from its fury.
Is that true?
Course not. Just don't know whether all this superstition is rooted around an actual dragon or a made-up one.
Fair point. I'm curious about this Draco Dios being a divine relic myself. If it was found in that temple, then the temple's probably an ancient ruin. Might be the perfect den for a dragon.
Should this creature exist, mortal sacrifice is beyond all reason. No torment is worth taking an innocent life for.
Oh, that's rich from a fallen knight. You think nobody makes sacrifices out there in the real world? Or is all that below you, eh? You ask me, I say at least these people are doing what needs to be done.
Huh, fair enough. Though it would seem beyond the pale, it is not our scale of morality that measures them.
Yet I refuse to stand idly by while innocent lives are at stake.
Who cares about what they do with their lives? We're here for the lance. Got enough problems without you trying to fix theirs.
These people, offer up their very lives for peace. They'd only ever told me these lands were wild and uncivilized, but it's like seeing sanctism reflected in a mirror.
We'll get the spear, of course, but we won't let anyone die. That should be good enough. We've been saying it since the beginning. We help anyone in need, no exceptions. Right, my friend?
Yeah. I mean, in theory, I'm okay with that. Although I do agree with Heismay's one. You know, we can't judge them based upon our morality. At least not completely. They're doing what they, as far as they know, they need to do. Also, we don't know if the dragon god is real, and we don't know whether he would like sacrifices. That could change things, like, completely. Anyway, of course.
Yeah, of course.
That settles it.
Indeed. 'Tis the path we've chosen. Let us withdraw to the Sea Runner first. It shall bear us across the waters to this temple island.
Go on. Give them a chance.
Okay. Well, that's a Denny. What is he doing out here, and why is he injured? And he's got his hat back on. Okay.
Please, help my sister.
Was that not a Denny we saw previously?
Wait, he's...
Please help. My sister Yufa. The temple full of makla.
Pull yourself together, man. He's barely breathing.
I love Heismay's way of dealing with him. He's like, oh, this is obviously an injured person. If I tell him to pull himself together, that'll solve it. No medical, thoughts here like, oh, I wonder whether he's been injured or something. Nope, just like, pull yourself together, man.
Did he just say Magla? I wonder what happened.
We need to get him to the Gauntlet Runner. No, 'tis too deep a wound for its capabilities. To the village, then.
What, are you mad? You just broke yourselves out of that damned place.
We cannot leave him to die.
I don't understand you lot.
No, this could work out for us. He's the island's chief, right? If we save his life, the whole village might come around on us.
What are you talking about? We already know where the lance is. All we have to do now is take it.
And how about this? I'll follow him because I'm assigned to keep an eye on him. And you have to keep an eye on me because you're my bodyguards, right?
Fine. Be my guest. But if it comes down to you or the lance, you know I'll have to take the lance. Whatever happens, I can't trust anyone but my family. And my Lord Louis.
Well, Batlin, looks like you'll have to repay the favor a bit earlier than expected. Go tell Nearest what's going on. To be honest, it's possible we won't make it back.
Getting a bit messy, this. Not that I mind. Consider the favor returned. The Gauntlet Runner's just further down, right?
Right. We'll carry this man back to the village. Give me a hand.
Okay.
Where am I?
Okay. They took its hat off to let him rest, at least.
Chief! I'm still alive.
Ah, and then there's somebody else behind them without the hat on as well. I'm wondering what the specific conditions for why you would have one on versus not having one on. Like, I wonder what conditions you need to fulfill. Oh. Maybe it's just however the story wants it to be, but... yeah. Also wondering whether we already know. But I don't think we do.
You're in one of my spare rooms at the inn.
You see, these people brought you here.
Wonders never cease. It's you. But you were being hunted. How did you manage to return safely?
2 of my companions acted as decoys to draw the soldiers away. That was all it took for us to sneak in.
Chief, what happened? Where is your sister?
We made it to the temple, but the air was thick with magla. Some of the island's beasts have turned feral.
You mean the melancholia set in?
They made short work of our guards. Yufa and I were separated. I was the only one who fled to the sea.
My word. Then we need to gather more troops. If we don't act, the ritual...
No. Our soldiers cannot stand against those horrors. We'd only be sending more to their deaths.
But...
Then we can do the honors. We've our own reasons to see the lads, and such monsters do not frighten us. But there's something I need to ask you first. Assuming we find your sister, what would you have us do with her? Are we ensuring you complete the sacrificial ritual? Or are we bringing her back?
Please, bring her home. When we left for the Temple Island, I'd intended to let Yufa escape. But when I saw no fear or hesitation in her eyes, I faltered. That's when I realized. It's not just the fate of the island that we've placed on her shoulders. She's been trying to bear all our fears and anxieties. Her life is in your hands. Even if her sacrifice would save us, I don't care. Please, save her from the curse we've placed on her.
Well said. Spoken like a true leader. Leave it to us. I pledge we will see her safely returned. You've no objections, I trust, Captain?
No objections?
Yes. Let's get her back.
Right. We're not in the business of abandoning people.
Right. We'll save your sister. In return, though, would you be willing to lend us Dracodios?
So be it.
What? That is the very symbol of our faith!
If they've the strength to overcome the Temple's trials, then they could have already taken the lance for themselves. Yet still they seek permission. I trust them. It seems like they really do believe in what they say.
But they're not like us. They're outsiders.
It doesn't matter what tribe they are. They're people just like us. If the race on the mainland taught me anything, it's that.
Wait, it'll take more than a day to save her, right? Not to be morbid, but will your sister survive that long?
She knows those halls better than I do. If she's found a safe enough chamber, she can stay out of sight. And I made sure to bring food to the temple when we left. She could survive for even 4 weeks. Yufa is a priestess. She knows her life is too valuable to the ritual not to keep going. Your offenses will be pardoned. Anything you need, I'll try to provide. So please, save Yufa.
Well, glad we talked our way out of being thrown back in a cell. This place is rather cozy, especially compared to a prison.
To be free of the bugs is its own comfort.
Wait, weren't you staying in Broilhaven? What kind of rundown hovels do you board in?
Finally, we may come and go as we please. Even if we must bow to Luis's whim, we need not draw the same ire.
I know, right? But lifting the prince's curse will only be the beginning. The public has to recognize him as the rightful king too.
Considering the road ahead, it might do to help as many people as we can while we hunt the lance. And ideally, keep the other candidates in check too.
All done with negotiations, are you?
I don't know what we'd do without you. It's amazing how you can lead those guards on such a long chase and turn up none the worse for wear.
No one alive can catch a couple of platypus lads in the woods.
Our job's to get the lance. I assume that hasn't changed? Then nothing else matters.
Okay then.
Well then, let's lay out our situation. Our destination is the Dragon Temple, built on a nearby deserted island. Once there, we search the temple for the divine relic, Dracodios. And while we're in there, we'll also be looking for the village priestess, Yufa.
The hell we will. I thought we made it clear we were here for the lance.
According to Edeni, the lance's actual place in the temple is a close guarded secret, known only to the priestess herself.
Never simple, is it?
We've got 2 problems to worry about. Firstly, by now, the temple's positively awash with melancholia. We should expect monsters, and lots of them.
What's interesting, I just realized, is I don't think we've actually heard Fidelio or Basilio talk about... I said his name wrong. I'll work out what the other guy's name is eventually. I might have actually said it correctly. Anyway, we haven't heard either of them talk about Melancholia. Neither have we heard Luis talk about it in any way, shape, or form. Yet, Zorba was hugely into the Melancholia talk. We did hear a little bit of Gladel saying, like, that he used Melancholia on his dog. But beyond that, like, it's not a hugely talked about thing within Luis's army. It's one that a couple of members of his army have used, but previously we were under the impression that Zorba was actively cultivating it in some way. So what I'm intrigued about is the fact that that this doesn't appear to be a thing that stemmed from Luis's army, or at least not a thing that the people we've interacted within his army have actively sought out. It's only been 1 or 2 members. So who is the source of the melancholia? Like, who or what is the source of this melancholia? Beyond it just being a thing that happens. Because it seemed like it was getting worse. I don't know. Maybe it's already been explained, but I don't think that we have an answer to that yet.
And secondly, there is a possibility that this dragon god of theirs is an actual living, and therefore angry, dragon.
Hope we don't have a battle like that ahead of us. But we'd better make sure we don't lose if we do.
And be quick about it, yeah? If you miss your deadline, Lord Luis will assume you're all traitors.
That puts our deadline in 17 days. Beyond that, we can't say if the priestess would survive.
Your pardon?
Okay. Hello.
You all, you're going to save Priestess Yufa?
Wouldn't have to if you hadn't sent her to die.
Yes, I know. You're exactly right. But you have to understand, not everyone here wanted sacrifice. To see a girl her age going willingly to die. She's as young as my own child. It's not right. So please.
We will see the girl safely home. You have our word.
Tis a strange irony. We came only for the lance, but even that pursuit has earned us a chance to save a life.
Hardly familiar. You sought me intent on capture, and instead convinced me to join you. You have a knack for opening doors others have closed.
Well, let's get some rest for tomorrow. Getting lost in the wild and captured by soldiers really takes it out of you.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Oh, we're on the next day? Okay. I wonder what kind of place the Dragon Temple is.
We gotta prep.
Let's stock up on what we need in the island first. When you're ready, the Gauntlet Runner is on the eastern beach of the island. This is Virga Island. Alright, this is cool. We got some memorandum stuff to look at. Let's look at it now. Virga Island, an island of the inland sea south of the kingdom. In the center of the archipelago sits an old village, home to many Mustari. It is the sole area of the kingdom untouched by sanctist proselytizing. The Mustari in major cities on the mainland are often disdained as pagans, adding to the public impression that the island is uncivilized. Dragon Temple. A temple of the Mustari faith that stands on an uninhabited island in the north of the archipelago. Home to the guardian deity, the dragon god, and likely resting place of the divine relic Dracodius. Rumour suggests that the true reason the Crown Theocracy has never tried to extend its reach to Virga Island is because it does not want to risk its believers seeing something in the temple. So what truths lie hidden? Okay. And we have, as we were told, 17 days until the next big event. So that'll be next month. So we have until the so we have until the 10th. Wait. So wait a second. That'll be 5 days, 10 days, 15 days. We have until the 5th. Weirdly, it doesn't have it as like an event on the month. That's what I find weird. We have until the 27th. Oh, that's when we have to be at the next place, I think. Yeah, that's when we have to be in Montario. No, that's Montario Saint Day here. Oh, this is when the... Oh, no, this is when the king is chosen. Oh, wow. We're really close to that. Okay. So this is the final day that we can get the thing... Okay. Let's go back. 5, 10, 15. So we have until the 5th. That's what we were told. Okay. Interesting. What I have also been told in the comments, and I've seen a little discussion back and forth on it, and we'll need to actually have a look and figure things out ourselves before we do anything. What I've been told is that we may or may not want to do the main story right away. If we do the main story right away, it's going to be very difficult, and it's going to be a bit of a test of endurance in a long dungeon where, you know, I'm assuming our resources are going to be slowly depleted over time. But the side content will be easier, because the side content is quite difficult. However, conversely, if we do the side content first, it's going to be really difficult, and then the main story is not going to be that hard. So what I'm hearing from people is that no matter what way we cut it, whatever we do first is going to be extremely difficult. So we'll need to figure that out. Also, there's always the potential that we may want to level up followers first. If we have the potential to get Brigitte to 8, that could actually be very impactful for us. I don't know if that's what we're going to do, and I'm kind of leaning away from it. But if we could get someone like Brigitte... Actually, we don't even... Oh, no, we do. If we could get Brigitte to 8, then we could potentially get the upgrade to Merchant, which might be really good for us. I don't know what the upgrade to Merchant is, but there is potential for that to be incredible. Because Merchant, in of itself, although we have actually found it to be more useful than I thought, isn't an out-of-the-box incredible class. So an upgrade to it could be very, very good. I don't know. We're going to need to think about things a little bit. We're definitely going to need to think about things a little bit and do some exploring. And can I just check something with the map?
Alright then. Where to?
We cannot currently access other places. Okay, so yeah, there's no point in doing follower stuff until we can at least access other places, because we couldn't do stuff with all of our followers. Oh, we've got a lot of exploring to do as well here. Yeah, a lot of exploring. And we'll need to check inside the inn and do all sorts of stuff. We'll do that next time. Also, it does appear like maybe our first day is going to be forced into us entering the Dragon Temple. Actually, can I see requests? Yes, we don't currently have a quest for that. So yeah, I think our first one might force us into the Dragon Temple, and then we find out that we need to come back after doing XYZ. I'm not sure though. We'll need to see. We'll need to see. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.